Good morning guys, welcome back to the channel. Just got back home, went and picked up a bunch of 6-inch 600 grit DA sandpaper. I'm setting a goal, hopefully a very obtainable goal for today. And that is to get everything that we need sanded down and primed. I'm not expecting to lay any color down today. And the first reason for that is I do want to spray out a test card to make sure the color is going to match 100% perfect or like super close. It doesn't have to be 100%, but if it's like way off, then I want to get it like retinted and get it a little bit closer. So yeah, if we can get everything in primer today, I would be very happy. We do have something very important to do tonight or this evening. So today is gonna be a little bit shorter in the shop, but we already have the hood pretty much ready to go for primer. The front bumper should be ready, hood scoop should be ready. Rear bumper is sanded down to 220 right now. So I kind of want to go over it again with 600 to get a lot more smooth before we hit primer on that. And then the side skirts need a ton of work. We haven't even started on the side skirts yet. I'm sure you guys are getting extremely bored of watching me sand stuff all day. So I'm gonna try to like wrap that up and not show too much sanding because I think you guys get the gist. There's a lot of sanding that goes on when painting. So yeah, front bumper should be ready, scoop should be ready, that fog light cover is ready, hood is ready, rear bumper needs a little bit more, wing needs a touch more sanding, and the side skirts need to be fully prepped. So we started working this morning at 8:30. It is now 1:30, so that in itself took way longer than I expected. So we got everything laid out back here. Those spats for the WX skirts, I ended up just completely stripping those. All the white paint was flaking off. So yeah, we got the spats, skirts, hood scoop, the front bumper vents, the wing pieces right there, front bumper, rear bumper, which this rear bumper, I don't think it's gonna look good whatsoever, honestly. There's so much filler in here that was cracking out, and I don't trust myself to try to refill this and reshape it. So I'm gonna leave it, and I guess in the future, if I hate it, I'll try to fix it myself again, but if I can't, I'll have it properly done or just replace the rear bumper completely. And then we have the hood right here. I think we are ready to start spraying some primer. I'm gonna start with all the stuff that needs the filler primer first, so we can let that dry, wet sand it, and then pretty much everything I think I need to use epoxy primer on before we actually spray down some base, some color. I still need to do more research to see if that is just a waste or if I actually need epoxy on everything. For example, like these fog light covers right here, there's a ton of little chips, rock chips in them. So I think I need to use filler primer on these and then sand them and then spray the epoxy, and then we can do color from there. But I don't know if the epoxy is 100% necessary, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna do some research there, but the shop is a complete disaster. So I'm gonna clean the shop real quick, do a little bit of research, figure out what exactly we need to do, and then we could start spraying down some primer. All right, so I just spent like the last hour talking to people, doing research, reading YouTube comments, reading DMs. I feel like everybody has a different way, and I'm sure they're all good ways. I feel like everybody has a different way of doing like paint work, body work. And honestly, the best way for me to learn and figure out what the hell to do is just to do it. And if it doesn't look good, I'll know for next time to change it up a little bit. A trial and error, you could say. So I have a plan. This is what I'm gonna do. It could be wrong, it could be right, it may work, it may not. I don't know until I try. The hood is pretty much ready to go. We are gonna use 2K high build primer on the corners. Obviously, we gotta sand those smooth. The whole front of the hood has tiny little rock chip. What I'm gonna do is use 2K high filler primer on the front. That's it for the hood. No epoxy on the hood. Rear bumper, pretty much the same concept. All this body filler right here, I'm gonna spray with some high build 2K primer. No epoxy, or no nothing else on the rest of the bumper. I know this bumper is not going to look perfect already because this is just whack looking. There was a big hole right there that someone else filled. Front bumper already has primer on it. It already was like that when I bought it, so front bumper is done. I think that is ready for color. I hope it is. I don't really want to redo the front bumper. Hood scoop, I think, is completely ready for color as well. There's a few bare areas, but nothing crazy. I hope that's ready. These pieces here, I will prime because there's a ton of bare areas. These 4 panels right here, the little spats, are completely bare, so I will prime those. Obviously, all these plastic pieces will get adhesion promoter. This piece right here for the rear wing, I think is ready for color. All this is sanded down with 600 grit. Every single thing you see right here is finished with 600 grit. So this should be ready. This lower piece of the wing should be ready for color. I don't see why we would need to put any primer on here. There's some areas right here that are sanded down to like the primer, but I think that should be fine. Now the top of the swing, there is quite a few bare areas, so I'm gonna spray some 2K high build primer on there. Let it sit, sand it smooth. And same goes for the skirts. Primer those, let them sit, sand it smooth. Now this may not be the best way, this may not be the right way in a lot of people's eyes, but honestly, like I said before, I don't really know what else to do. I do have epoxy primer here, but now some people are saying that I don't need to epoxy anything. So yeah, pretty much everything, all the plastic pieces that we are going to be primering, we are going to use adhesion promoter on first. So as long as we can get some primer laid down today, which I think we're pretty much ready for primer right now, I'll obviously clean up the pieces a little bit. I'll wet the shop floor to keep the dust down, the pollen down. There's a ton of pollen in the air right now, so hopefully keep the pollen down a little bit. And yeah, I think we are ready for primer. I hope. I don't know. Let's give it a shot, see what happens. So we have our little makeshift spray booth set up. All the parts and pieces are laid out that we need to primer. I'm now realizing that this is gonna be really, really hard to spray everything, all the base coat, clear coat, all at once because I don't really have that many places to set parts up. I guess we can figure that out later if we need to spray it 2 separate times, so be it. This is how everything is set up, guys. A ton of little parts on the ladder here. We have the ramps out for the wing, garbage can for one of the skirts, rear bumper, and another skirt on some sawhorses, and the hood on the other set of sawhorses. I'm gonna run inside real quick, grab the 2K high build primer. We already have the epoxy out, but like I already talked about, we're not gonna be using any epoxy primer today, apparently. So I'm gonna clean up the table. The table is a complete disaster. Get everything situated for the 2K high build. Get some primer mixed up and start spraying it out. I think I'm gonna do probably 2 coats, maybe 3 coats on the edges of the hood where we had to bend those back because I feel like I didn't do all that good of a job. But everything else, 2 coats should be plenty. So here is my game plan, guys. I'm all clean. I went and put a new shirt on that doesn't have a bunch of sanding dust on it. I don't know if this is necessary because there is still paint on pieces, on all the plastic pieces, a little bit of paint, but I was recommended to use Stick It adhesion promoter. So we're gonna do 2 coats. I believe the technical data sheet said 10 minutes in between each coat. So 2 super light coats, wait 20 minutes, and then we can go ahead and apply the primer. So I'm gonna clean everything up right now. It's already really, really clean, obviously. But I'm gonna go through with the wax and grease remover and some lint-free towels, get everything perfectly clean, and then we can do our 2 coats of the adhesion promoter on the plastic pieces. Wait 20 minutes, slop on, like we talked about earlier, 2 coats, 2 to 3 coats of the high build primer. Let it dry overnight. I have heard about shrinkage issues with the MP282 high build primer, so I don't want it to shrink after we sand it. Then we could see all the sand scratches again. So yeah, we're gonna spray everything out. If we can get all the primer laid down today, I would be super, super happy. we got everything sprayed out, all good to go there. This primer does seem to dry pretty quick, but I am going to wait overnight before we do any sanding whatsoever. Real quick, I think I'm gonna mix up some of the base coat, spray out a test card, and just make sure it matches really, really closely. The only pieces I really have to match it to though, I guess I have the grill, but the only things I have not sanded yet, and I didn't really think of this ahead of time. I should have grabbed the gas cap or the gas lid off the car, but I have these end pieces, and I think if I polish these up real quick, this should give me a good enough estimate as to whether this base coat needs to be tinted differently or if we can just spray it as is. It was really nice keeping the floor wet, but the problem I found out with that is I keep having to mist it, and I'm worried that when I go to spray the base or the clear, the mist or the water is going to come back up onto the parts. That's the first issue I was running into. The second one is I keep like running into myself or dragging the hose against parts or pieces. So when we go to spray base and clear, I'm gonna have to do so many different sessions because we already filled out the shop with these parts, and we still have like the front bumper and a ton of other little pieces to spray out as well. So we can save that for tomorrow. We should be able to get base and clear on tomorrow, I think. Let's sand in the morning and then spray some base and clear, provided the base coat that we have matches, and then honestly just let it dry from there and slap it back on the car. I'm gonna go ahead and move all of the parts to this side of the shop and then clean up the floor before all that dries, and we can work on spraying out a test card and seeing if the color matches. Bam. The shop is all nice and clean. We got all the parts chilling over here. So they're already tack free. Don't worry about that. When I moved them, they were tack free, guys. Real quick, I am going to spray out a test card and yeah, spray this out. I'm not gonna do any clear. Instead of clear, I'm just gonna use wax and grease remover just so I don't have to mix up clear. See how it looks. If it's good to go, we should be able to spray base coat and clear coat tomorrow. It's super hard to tell without like the proper light. I forget what light they were using at the paint shop when they took a look at my car and gave me the proper paint. But based off what I'm seeing, it looks super, super, super close. Keep in mind, guys, my eyes aren't necessarily trained, so to say, for like painting. I've never been a painter. This is my first big project ever. So I'm sure if I was more experienced, I'd be able to be like, okay, there's not enough green pearl in there or not enough white pearl in there. Kind of along those lines. But I think for now, that looks like a super, super close color match. I'm gonna go ahead and run that. I guess that is gonna wrap up today's day in the shop. I'm gonna let these chill overnight. I don't want any shrinkage. My brother Austin warned me, like even waiting overnight, he said we still may have shrinkage after that. But to be completely honest, I don't wanna wait longer than a day to get everything painted and back in the car. I'm definitely a little bit impatient. I gotta take this phone call real quick. This is actually gonna be perfect. This is what we are up to next. Yo, what up, G?
Yo.
What's up?
Did you still want to shoot?
Yep, that was my buddy George. We're gonna go do a photo shoot tonight of a ton of the new merch dropping with the Evo 10. The launch is this Friday at 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We need to go get like some outdoor product photo shots, kind of like we did last time with the Evo 10. And I also need to do some studio shots with my buddy Jared, who did all of Bobby's studio shots. So we need to go clean up the Evo 10. I haven't driven that car in probably, I don't know, over a week. We need to go unbox all of the new merch and get on with this photo shoot. I'm super freaking excited, guys. We have a ton of sweaters this time around. I know last time sold out in under a minute. We do have zip ups and we do have hoodies this time as well. And new jet tags and air fresheners and a few other little things. Let's go clean up the Evo, go meet up with George, go meet up with Bobby because Bobby is a model, I'm not a model, and bang out this photo shoot. Ready
Ready.
to do the thing?
Let's do the thing. Little sneak peek behind outfit.
You got poop on it, huh?
I got chocolate.
Want anything?
No, thank you. Actually, can I get water? Light water.
Look at this man's all aired out. Yeah, the thing's still really dirty.
Yeah, it's filthy.
Damn, that's an OG shirt.
It is.
That's the first one ever. Holy shit.
It's my gym shirt.
What's up, dog?
What?
I got chocolate all over my shirt. You're gonna have to post chocolate.
So my car wash that I did earlier wasn't really a car wash. It was just kind of like a hose down, and it didn't really work because the car's still extremely dirty. But I have quick detailer and I have some towels, so we'll figure that out later. Should I bag my car so I can be bag boys with George?
Why not?
No? Should I bag my car?
This Evo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Center here, facing this way.
Facing this way?
Yeah, in between these trees.
Ooh, gee, dude. Can I be like in the sun a little bit or not? Okay, so we made it to the first location. I don't know how many spots we're gonna shoot today, but we are at a college right now, and I think our college is still like shut down right now, probably. Yeah, colleges are completely shut down, so we pretty much have a whole parking lot, multiple parking lots to shoot in, so it should look pretty dope. Here's the first spot. All right, Master, what's the plan? Get Bobby out here. So George is gonna shoot Bobby first, cause she's cute.
Awesome, babe.
Are you pretty cute? You nuts? And then when I can bring my anxiety level down a little bit, maybe I'll go take photos. I always have anxiety when I get in front of the camera. If I'm doing photos, if I'm doing vlog stuff like this, it's alright. But photos, it kind of makes me nervous. We shot here for like 20 minutes and then campus security decided that we had to leave. So right now we're gonna go to a church right down the road for sunset, and my trunk is open, so hopefully it doesn't fly open all the way. Good thing my big wang holes are down. And then as soon as we're done with the sunset photo shoot, we have a studio photo shoot as well for like more product shots. So this is kind of stressful. So this is the second spot. Holy shit. Holy shit. Bro. My phone was on my hood the whole time.
No way, dude.
What?
My phone was still chilling on my hood.
Devin Niemela.
You know what I did the other day at my other photo shoot? I was driving with my camera on my trunk.
That's trippy. Photo shoot, location number 2. With the sunset, nice church, nice background.
George is enjoying himself over there.
Bobby's probably gonna go pee behind a tree.
Yeah, I think I might.
Let's do this thing.
Can I go really quick?
So we're all finished up with the outdoor shoot, and now we are gonna set up a studio in the apartment like we did for Bobby's shoot. There's a car here that I'm sure you guys wanna see. What's this cute car doing here again?
Oh dude, it's so dirty right now. Look at all this pollen.
It's bad, bro. Yeah,
I
it's
could
bad.
see it earlier today. There was a gust of wind.
Good morning, Codes. Stretchy boy.
What's up, guys? It is the next morning after the photo shoot. Jared, the photographer, and I were up till like 3:30 in the morning doing all of the product shots for the site. I'm super freaking excited to get this launch up for you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Man, I'm freaking tired. It's 8 o'clock and I'm just waking up. 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, the launch goes live. First link down in the description box below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go ahead and end it out here. We do have to head back to the shop today, get some sanding done, get some base coat laid down, some clear coat, and hopefully get the majority, if not all of the parts painted for the STi. Peace out, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.